We are in Granger County, Tennessee, here at Pierce Farms, and the Pierce family has been working with Ingalls for over 30 years. It means a great deal supplying produce as a local farmer. It really touches base knowing that we're just simple people just trying to help, and we love what we do, and Ingalls is a huge part of helping us do it. Farming is who we are, and it's in our blood. God has really blessed us with the sun and the soil to grow the best tomatoes you'll find anywhere. I believe it's really in the soil. So if you're in Granger County, you farm tomatoes, then you're in. Just a great blessing on us to actually farm and be able to farm and to supply tomatoes to people. And Ingalls really cares about family farms like Pierce Farms, and they really care about their customers. We're just glad to be a part of that. God has blessed us with a really great partnership there. They make fresh local produce have real meaning for lots of people. I'm Shane Pierce, and this is my Ingalls story.
family.
Food's here!
What's it mean to you?
We got lunch.
To us, it means the people you care about, look out for, and yeah, love. Even if you'd never let them hear you say it.
Hey, you're eating hummus?
What's wrong with hummus?
Here at Ingalls, we have everything you need to gather around the table and give each other a hard time. Because that's what families do. Ingalls. All the ingredients for family.
Jason was an ordinary man with an insatiable appetite until he got a call that changed everything.
Applebee's All You Can Eat is back with shrimp.
This January, get ready to order. Starring riblets, tenders, and introducing shrimp.
Carter, they'll start at point guard. 5'4", a junior from Ann Arbor, Michigan, Mia Long. At guard, 5'6", a sophomore from Knoxville, Tennessee, Jayla Arnwine. At forward, 5'8", a senior from Ocoee, Florida, Yeliz Makubidon. At shooting guard, 5'7", a senior from Greensboro, North Carolina, Callie Patterson. And at center, 6 foot, a senior from Hendersonville, Tennessee, Condrea Duke. Pioneers do get back from injury for this game. Maddie Sutton, who has sat out about a month with an ankle injury. She is back in a Pioneer uniform, but as head coach Devin Carter said in the pregame, not yet back in game shape. Also, the Pioneers add to their roster a 6'3" freshman from La Follette, Tennessee. She played at Cumberland Gap High School and Bell County, Kentucky High School, just across the border in Middlesboro, Kentucky. Brittany Cupp. She stands at 6'3", but as head coach Devin Carter said, not quite in game shape and what he called Pioneer shape just yet. Pioneers under head coach Devin Carter in his 4th season as the Pioneer head coach, with an overall record of 44 wins and 45 losses. The Pioneers come in at 9-2 overall, 2-2 in the South Atlantic Conference. Mars Hill comes in at 1-7 overall, 0-4 in the South Atlantic Conference. And interim head coach Aaron Fernandez was the assistant coach when this season started, but has had to take over as the head coach, as Coach Fenora, the head coach, has sat out for about 6 months as she has dealing with some health problems of her own. So Aaron Fernandez has taken over on an interim basis and is 1-7 as the head coach at Mars Hill. Tusculum looking for their 6th straight victory as they come into this game. The Pioneers' last loss was at Catawba back on December the 1st. The Pioneers have won 5 games since then with victories over Queens, North Greenville, Bluefield State, Livingstone, and Lenore Rhine. The Pioneers have evened their record in the South Atlantic Conference at 2-2. They stand behind Anderson and Newberry, who are undefeated in the conference. Anderson at 6-0, Newberry at 4-0. Carson Newman and Winkett are both 4-2, and then the Pioneers at 2-2 in the South Atlantic Conference. As the Pioneers also moved up in the Southeast Region poll, the Pioneers are up 2 spots to 7th in the Southeast Region coming into this week. The Pioneers will jump center with Condrea Duke, as Mars Hill will jump center with Shayla Smith. As we are underway, as Callie Patterson controls the opening tap, and the Pioneers will bring it into front court. And the Pioneers will have the basketball to start this game. Long, working against a zone for Mars Hill, goes inside to Condrea Duke. Duke tries to force one up. It's nowhere near, and Mars Hill comes away with the rebound. Here to the front court comes the Mars Hill Lions as Tatum Boggs, should be a familiar name. Boggs, who was a go-to player for Converse College before transferring to Mars Hill. The Pioneers saw her several times when she played for the Converse All-Stars. Pioneers back the other way off a Mars Hill miss, and the Pioneers with a quick shot in front court from Callie Patterson. The Pioneers start 0 for 2 with 2 ill-advised shots, as we're still scoreless 50 seconds into this basketball game. Mars Hill with the basketball. Mariah Johnson on the left wing, drives in the paint, pulls up over Duke, gets knocked to the floor, shot no good, but a rebound put back from Shayla Smith, and Mars Hill gets the first 2 points of the basketball game. Just underway, 8:55 left. Arnwine drives, leaves it for a wide-open Callie Patterson. That's back iron, no good. Rebound, Condrea Duke. Kick out. Jayla Arnwine will fire for 3. That one's off the mark, and the Pioneers have started 0 for 5. And they trail 2-0 as Mars Hill comes back the other way. Johnson across the timeline, picked up by Mia Long. Now reverses, goes left side. Long cuts her off. Pulls up at the free throw line, leaves it underneath for Smith. Her jumper's off the mark. But Mars Hill with an offensive rebound and a second chance opportunity. Johnson will drive the lane, lost the handle, scramble for it on the floor. Picked up by Smith, who puts it up and in. And Mars Hill's jumped out to a 4-0 lead. So the Lions have scored the first 4 points of this basketball game. Condrea Duke underneath, turns and shoots and misses but draws the foul. And Duke will be to the free throw line to shoot a pair, as the foul's whistled against Shayla Smith, her first, and the first team foul called on the Mars Hill Lions. And Shayla Smith she looks like she's collapsing down in the corner. I hate to speculate, but holding her stomach and slow to come off the floor is Shayla Smith. As the Pioneer training staff runs to the other end to assist the Mars Hill Lion training staff. As Condrea Duke misses the front end of the 2-shot foul, she'll have a second. Here to the game for Mars Hill comes Shelby Ballman, a 5'7" sophomore out of Morganton, North Carolina. I did not see what happened to Shayla Smith. I didn't see her until she was on the ground in the corner of the floor. Second free throw from Duke is good, and the Pioneers trail 4-1. Try to give you an update on that later on. Tatum Boggs trapped in backcourt, dribbles out of it, and then a reach-in foul is going to be called on the Pioneers going against Callie Patterson. That'll be her first and the team first. And Mars Hill inbound in backcourt with a fresh 30-second clock. Boggs to get it in over Jayla Arnwine. Finally does get it in backcourt, and Ballman gives it off to Johnson, and she'll bring it into the front court against Patterson. Pardue holds it high at the top, and a reach in and a foul is going to be called on the Pioneers. Arnwine gets whistled for the foul. That'll be her first, the team's second. And now the Lions will inbound side front court with once again a fresh 30-second clock, and the Pioneers come away with a steal. Ballman threw it right into the hands of Mia Long. Long lost the handle, and now she's just going to regroup. Long got the steal and got in the lane, but she regroups, goes outside, gets it into Duke. Shot no. Rebound pulled down by Mars Hill. Mars Hill has made it tough on the inside. Both times the Pioneers have gone inside. Pioneers have gone there 3 times, and they're 0 for 2 with 1 free throw to show for it. Pioneers still trail 4-1. Mars Hill with the miss, but they get a second chance opportunity and a fresh 30-second clock. This is Boggs on the left wing. Picked up by Duke. Lob pass inside. Duke tipped it right out of the hands of Yeliz Makubidon, and the Pioneers come up with another steal. Kubidon drives the lane all the way to the hoop, puts it up and in. Driving bucket from Yeliz Makubidon off the steal from Condrea Duke, and the Pioneers pull back to within 1. Outlet feed is tipped by Patterson, but safely right out of the hands of Brooke Valinskas, and she lays it up and in. Pioneers got the tip, but it left Valinskas wide open underneath the bucket, and she puts it up and in. And Mars Hill pushes their lead back to 3 at 6-3. Long to Kubidon at the top. Puts it on the floor with the left hand. Entry pass to Duke. Back outside to Patterson. Arnwine to the deep right corner for 3. That one's off the mark, and the rebound's pulled down by Mars Hill. Do the Pioneers have an offensive rebound in this first quarter yet? Lions drive all the way to the other end of the floor, and that is not going to make head coach Devin Carter happy because the Pioneers did not stop basketball. Mariah Johnson drove the length of the floor. Nobody stopped the basketball, and Johnson gets the layup, and the lead is 5, 8-3 in favor of the 1-7 Mars Hill Lions. Mia Long drives the lane. Shot off the glass, no. Rebound Duke. Putback rolls off, no. Rebound battle for underneath, and a jump ball will be the call. And it'll be Mars Hill basketball on the alternate arrow. Mars Hill will inbound against full court pressure from the Pioneers as Callie Patterson will guard the inbound from Brooke Valinskas. Valinskas inbounds it, gets it back, and now brings it into the front court. Gets it to the hands of Mariah Johnson. Johnson looks to drive on Mia Long. Now goes right wing to Tatum Boggs. Boggs back to the top in Pardue. Throws it right out of the hands of Dom Donnelly, who is not an eligible player. But before it hit Dom Donnelly, it was hit by a Pioneer, so it'll be Mars Hill basketball. Or it was at last touched by Pioneer Dom Donnelly. Either way, it'll be Mars Hill basketball. Lob pass inside, tipped by Duke. Saved by Pardue, but out of bounds. And this time, Dom Donnelly's not there to save it. He goes out of bounds, and the Pioneers will get the basketball back. With 5:35 left to play in the first quarter, Pioneers trail by 5 as Marta Rodriguez into the basketball game for the Pioneers, along with Lovely Locklear. Kubidon, Arnwine, and Duke stay on the floor for Tusculum. Locklear looks to drive, and a whistle and a foul going to be called on the floor as the foul goes on Shelby Ballman. That'll be her first, team second. Here to the game for Mars Hill comes Bradford, the 5'4 sophomore out of Charlotte, North Carolina. Lovely Locklear to trigger the inbounds pass for the Pioneers. Lobs it into Duke, turns on 2. Had it stripped away, got it back, and kicks it out to Arnwine. Arnwine looks to drive. She's cut off, has to dribble back out, and goes right wing to Marta Rodriguez. She'll pick up her dribble, now fire for 3. Shot, no. Rebound tipped. Kubidon had it, saves it in, but saves it right out of the hands of Bradford. Outlet feed Pardue. Pioneers trying to catch up defensively, can't get there. Pardue missed the layup, and Condrea Duke pulls down the rebound for the Pioneers. Ahead to Marta Rodriguez. Pioneers look to push the tempo. Down by 5 are the Pioneers with the basketball. Kubidon, lob pass inside Duke. Turn, shoot, shot off the glass is good. Condrea Duke gets the bucket on the inside and pulls the Pioneers back to within 3. 8-5 the score with 4:33 left to play in the opening quarter. Beautiful backdoor cut is Valinskas, and she gets the layup underneath. Great backdoor cut by Brooke Valinskas. And Mars Hill pushes their lead back to 5. Lob pass inside. Kubidon to the hole, puts it up and in. You lose Makubidon with the lob pass and then the layup. And the Pioneers back to within 3, 10-7 with 4:05 left to play. In the opening half, Kubidon tips it but can't save it. Elise Makubidon tips the pass but can't save it before it goes out of bounds. And we've reached a media timeout. Mars Hill basketball when we come back. 4:01 left to play in the opening quarter. It's Mars Hill 10, Tusculum 7. This is Pioneer Women's Basketball on the Pioneer Sports Network.
Jason was an ordinary man with an insatiable appetite until he got a call that changed everything.
Applebee's All You Can Eat is back with shrimp.
This January, get ready to order. Starring riblets, tenders, and introducing shrimp.
The Pioneers are 0 for 5 from 3 to start this basketball game and trail by 3 as we come out of the media timeout. Mars Hill with the basketball. As into the game during the timeout, return Bradford. This will be Valinkas driving baseline, gets cut off, kicks it out on the right wing to Lovin. Now back outside to Ballman. Jumper from the free throw line as the shot clock expires from Lovin is good. Lovin with the jumper. As the shot clock buzzer was sounding, she gets it, and Mars Hill back to a 5-point lead. It equals their largest lead of this first quarter. The Pioneers 0 for 5 from 3, 3 of 13 from the floor. That's 23%. Rodriguez with 5 seconds to Kubidan. She'll fire for 3. Pioneers are now 0 for 6 from 3 as it's no good. Saved it right into the hands of Maddie Sutton. Her shot's no good, but Maddie, who's seeing her first action in about a month, will be to the free throw line to shoot a pair. As the foul against Mars Hill on Shelby Ballman. That is her second. It's the team's third. And Maddie Sutton will be to the free throw line to shoot a pair for the Pioneers, as her team trails 12-7. I'm always told to be quiet during free throws, and y'all are over here slamming chairs. And the first free throw is no good, as the coach's chair that he uses during a timeout fell to the floor, almost gave me a heart attack, and evidently caused Maddie Sutton to miss 2 free throws. Still in backcourt by Mia Long. Long with a steal to the bucket, puts it up and in. Mia Long with the steal and the hoop. The Pioneers back within 3, so Sutton couldn't convert on the 2 free throws. But the Pioneers get 2 points on after the rebound as Long got the steal and the bucket, and then a foul to be whistled in backcourt. As Lovely Locklear went for the steal, and in doing so, Tatum Boggs tripped over Locklear's feet. The foul on Locklear, her first, team's third. And the Mars Hill Lions will inbound in backcourt, and the Pioneers force a turnover. Marta Rodriguez got her hands on the basketball, but she deflected it off the knee of Bradford, so it'll be Pioneer basketball. And I have a prediction. Aaron Fernandez, in an interim role, just a 2013 graduate. You do the math, he's still a young, fiery coach. He might get a technical before this game's over. Live and learn. I had a hot head at one time, too. Maddie Sutton lost the handle on the inside, and it's tipped and taken away by Brooke Valinkas. Mars Hill with the steal, and back the other way come the Lions. Behind the back dribble, Johnson drives the lane and then throws it out of bounds. So the Pioneers get the basketball back on the turnover. Tatum Boggs back into the game as Valinkas goes out. Callie Patterson will check in as Marta Rodriguez will come out. The Pioneers with Kubidan, Long, Patterson, Sutton, and Lovely Locklear on the floor. As Mia Long gets the inbound in backcourt, we'll bring it into the front court with a fresh play from head coach Devin Carter. Pioneers down by 3, 12-9 the score, 2:15 to play opening quarter. Kubidan, Mia Long into the corner, and Patterson. Pioneers just passing the ball around the perimeter. Maddie Sutton will fire from the 3 from the quarter, and the Pioneers take the lid off the three-point bucket and tie the game at 12 as Maddie Sutton knocks down the 3, and the Pioneers have their first 3 of the game in 7 tries. Loose ball in front court. Tatum Box picks it up for Mars Hill. Looks to drive on Patterson. Now leaves it in the deep left corner in Loveland. Loveland lost the handle. Sutton almost got it. Off the knee of Bradford, safely into the hands of Boggs, and she'll be fouled on a three-point attempt, and Tatum Boggs will be to the free throw line to shoot 3. The foul called on Callie Patterson. That'll be her second. It's the team's 4th. And to the free throw line to shoot a pair for the Mars Hill Lions will be Tatum Boggs on the year. Boggs is 11 of 16 from the free throw line, 68.8%. Tatum Boggs in a tie basketball game will shoot 3 free throws as she was fouled in the act of shooting a three-pointer. Left-hander makes the first. She'll have 2 more. Boggs' second free throw is good. Patterson comes out. Arnwine checks in. And Boggs will have a third. Boggs' free throw is good. Tatum Boggs makes good on all 3. Her team now leads 15-12 as the Pioneers tied the game for the first time at 12 before Boggs made all 3, and Mia Long will draw the foul. As the foul goes against Tatum Boggs. That'll be her first, the team's 4th. And Mia Long will inbound underneath her own bucket for the Pioneers. Here to the corner, lovely Locklear. Passed up a wide-open 3 and now dribbles on the right wing. Now will fire for 3. Short, no. Rebound pulled down by Lovett and Mars Hill. Outlet feed to Bradford. Pioneers get back defensively, and Bradford will dribble it out and set up in the half-court offense at the top. Lovely Locklear comes out to defend. Here to the corner, Lovett. Now back to the top, and Tatum Boggs. She'll drive. Off-balance shot is no good. Whistle and a foul on Mia Long, and Tatum Boggs will be back to the free throw line to shoot 2 more. The foul on Long, her first. It's the team's 5th. So both teams now will be in the bonus for the remaining minute 10 of this first quarter. Tatum Boggs, who was perfect the last time to the line as she shot 3, makes her 4th in a row. 16-12 now the score. Tatum Boggs will have 1 more. Condrea Duke up off the bench, set to check back into the game for the Pioneers as Boggs makes good on the second free throw. And the lead is back to the largest lead of the quarter for the Mars Hill Lions. 17-12 the score. Lions with the lead with 1:05 left to go in the opening quarter as Mia Long brings it across the timeline. Arnwine back to Long. Maddie Sutton at the top of the circle. Arnwine gets it on the left wing. Sutton looking inside for Duke. Arnwine will fire for 3. Shot short, no. Scramble for the basketball. And then a foul is going to be called on Condrea Duke, going for the loose ball, and will walk to the other end and shoot 2 free throws. So the foul on Condrea Duke will be her first. And Mars Hill in the bonus will shoot 2 more free throws with Lovett at the line. Free throw is in, out, no. And she'll be back to the line to shoot her second. 17-12 the score. Mars Hill with the lead, and Lovett makes good on the free throw, making the new score 18-12 and giving Mars Hill their largest lead of this first quarter. Long with the basketball on the right wing. Drives, kicks out to Maddie Sutton. Arnwine to the deep left corner. Drives baseline, takes it all the way to the hoop, puts it off the glass and in. Jayla Arnwine with the driving bucket as she drives baseline, pulls the Pioneers back within 4. 31 seconds to play in the quarter. Pioneers to come with the trap. Johnson throws it out of bounds. Pioneer pressure, forces a turnover. I think head coach Devin Carter is hesitant to play at this tempo the entire game because you're playing without Jazz Williams. You got a couple of players that you're trying to get back into game shape. But the times that the Pioneers have pushed the tempo, they have forced Mars Hill into turnovers. Good chance you see more of that in the second half. Pioneers trail by 4, 14 seconds to play in the quarter. Shot clock turned off. Pioneers can take the last shot of the quarter if they so choose. Long with 7 seconds. Lovely Locklear with 5. Arnwine with 4. Duke is fouled with 3. Or is it a kicking violation? They call it a kicking violation. Could have been a foul. Could have been a travel for all I know because Devin Carter is standing right in front of him. Lovely Locklear will inbound deep in the left corner for the Pioneers with 3.4 seconds. Maddie Sutton comes off the screen. A lot of contact, no call, and the first quarter comes to an end. We've played one with your score. Mars Hill 18, Tusculum 14. This is Pioneer Women's Basketball on the Pioneer Sports Network.
Family.
Food's here!
What's it mean to you?
We got lunch.
To us, it means the people you care about, look out for, and yeah, love. Even if you'd never let them hear you say it.
Hey, you're eating hummus?
What's wrong with hummus?
Here at Ingalls, we have everything you need to gather around the table and give each other a hard time. Because that's what families do. Ingalls.
On the left wing. Long looks to drive all the way to the hole. Shot, no, but a foul. And Mia Long will be to the free throw line to shoot 2. The foul called on Mars Hill on Mariah Johnson. That'll be her first. It's the team's first. And Long at the line to shoot a pair, and the first one is in, out, no good. Long will have a second. Yelise McCubidon up off the bench and into the basketball game, replacing Maddie Sutton for the Pioneers, as Maddie Sutton still trying to work herself into Pioneer shape, as head coach Devin Carter calls it. He said there's shape, there's game shape, and then there's Pioneer shape. I'm just flat out not in shape. Long goes 1 of 2. Pioneers trail by 3 as Mars Hill brings it into the front court. Pioneers come with a trap and force a turnover. The steal, Lovely Locklear, line, lane, hoop, and in. Lovely Locklear gets the bucket off the Pioneers steal, and the Pioneers cut the Mars Hill lead to 1. It's as close as the Pioneers have been in this game since they tied it at 12. After being down by 5 twice, they also trailed by 6 after they tied it at 12. Three-pointer on its way from Johnson is off the mark. Rebound putback is put up and in. Johnson with the miss. Pardue with the rebound putback for the Mars Hill Lions. And Mars Hill pushes their lead back to 3 at 20-17. Mia Long with the basketball, left wing for the Pioneers. Now dribbling on the right wing, hands it off to Lovely Locklear. Duke gets it at the top of the circle and hands it back to Locklear. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Arnwine gets a screen from Duke. Right wing to Long. She'll fire a 3. That one's off the mark. And the rebound pulled down by the Mars Hill Lions. The Pioneers now 1 of 11 from 3 and just 6 of 20, 6 of 21 from the floor. Long tips it away out of bounds. And Mars Hill will inbound. In backcourt, 20 seconds on the shot clock. Johnson to get it in for Mars Hill. Johnson on a cut to Linkus. Underneath Smith, then a whistle and a foul. And Shayla Smith will be to the free throw line to shoot a pair. The foul called on the Pioneers on Condrea Duke. That'll be her second. It's the team's first of the second quarter. And Shayla Smith will be to the free throw line to shoot a pair. If you'll remember, it was Smith who went down in the corner. Smith is still in the game, but she still looks uncomfortable. As she turns away after missing the first free throw, you can still tell that Shayla Smith is back in the game, but she just still does not look very comfortable. Still don't know what happened to her to make her fall to the floor in the corner. early in that first quarter. She makes the second. It's 21-17 now. Marcel still with the lead. Long to Belton, who fires for three. In, out, no. Pioneers are 1 of 12 from three if you're keeping score at home. Tatum Boggs back the other way for Mars Hill. Throws it out of bounds. Mars Hill with another turnover. Trying to keep the Pioneers in this game. Pioneers with 9 points off of 8 Mars Hill turnovers, but Mars Hill still leads by 4, 21-17. We have 8:07 to play in this second quarter. Mia Long with the basketball for Tusculum. Long. Kubidon spins in the lane. Shot blocked away by Smith, and a foul is going to be called on Smith. And the Pioneers will be at the free throw line shooting a pair. The foul on Shayla Smith will be her second. It's the team's second. And Yelizma Kubidon will be at the free throw line to shoot 2 for Tusculum. And attempting to pull the Pioneers back within a pair. Kubidon, free throw, in, out, no. She'll have a second. Kubidon, second free throw is good. Kubidon makes good on 1 of 2. Pioneers trail by 3. Full court pressure from the Pioneers in backcourt. Mariah Johnson with the basketball will go to work on Yelizma Kubidon, and Kubidon escorts her into the front court, and Mars Hill throws it away. Initially, the official points the Mars Hill way, but Tusculum never touched it. It went off the hands of Shayla Smith of Mars Hill, and Mars Hill is going to retain possession of the basketball. That is an absolute blown call, and the Pioneers don't catch the break. Missed shot, rebound from Shayla Smith. They reset the shot clock, and Mars Hill with a fresh 30. And a traveling violation called on Mars Hill, and Brooke Vasikas travels with it and turns it over to the Pioneers. So, despite the missed call, Mars Hill doesn't come away with points, and the Pioneers come away with the basketball. Long into the front court. Screen from Belton. Goes left wing to Kubidon. Kubidon to Arnwine. Nice head fake. Dribbles in. Pull-up jumper on its way. Rolls off no. Rebound tip. Arnwine comes up with it for Tusculum. Outside Locklear. She'll drive baseline. Gets cut off. Has to come outside to Long. She'll fire for 3. That one's off the mark. Pioneers cannot buy one from 3. Johnson back the other way. Pioneers down by 3 as they set back into half-court defense. Johnson will back it up and set up in the half-court offense. Backdoor lob. Tatum Boggs. Shot no. Rebound is saved by the Pioneers, but they'll say Mia Long stepped on the baseline, and it will remain with the Mars Hill Lions. Maddie Sutton in. Marta Rodriguez in. Mia Long and Belton go out. And Mars Hill will inbound with 13 seconds on the shot clock. Johnson to get it in. Smith will fire for 3. Nowhere near. Rebound Marta Rodriguez, and a reach-in foul going to be called on Smith. Smith gets whistled for the foul. That'll be her third. It's Smith's third and Mars Hill's third, and the Pioneers will get the basketball. Marta Rodriguez will get the play from head coach Devin Carter, and now bring it into the front court. In the corner, Arnwine, Kubidon, Rodriguez, Sutton, all the way to the corner, and Lovely Locklear back to Sutton on the right wing, and the Pioneers miss another one from 3, and Maddie Sutton commits the foul on the rebound. Foul on Maddie Sutton. That'll be her first. It's the team's second, and Mars Hill will inbound against full court pressure from the Pioneers. Long baseball pass down the other end. Johnson, she gets it, but Marta Rodriguez will chase her down, and Rodriguez nearly traveled, gets it out to Boggs on the right wing, and Mars Hill now sets up in their half-court offense. Boggs drives on Lovely Locklear. A whistle and a foul going to be called on Lovely Locklear. That'll be her second, team third, and the Pioneers will send Tatum Boggs to the free throw line to shoot a pair. Mia Long up off the bench, set to check back into the game for Tusculum. The Pioneers now 1 of 14 from 3 in this game. and 7 of 26 from the floor. Long in, Lovely Locklear goes out. Boggs makes good on the first free throw, and she'll have a second. Boggs, free throw, short, no. 22-18 the score as Mia Long brings it into the front court. Back to Maddie Sutton. She'll fire for another three. Three-point basket, Maddie Sutton. And a reach in and a foul going to be called on the Pioneers as they get Jayla Arnwine with a hold in back court as the Pioneers were guarding the inbounds in the full court. 6:03 to play in the second quarter. Pioneers pull back within one off the Maddie Sutton three-pointer. Boggs gets it in back court to Bradford. Bradford splits a double team, then lost the handle to Kubidon. Kubidon to Long. And a charge is going to be called on Kubidon as she runs over Johnson before she passed the basketball to Mia Long. So the foul going to be called on Yeliz Makubidon, her first. It's the team's fifth with 5:55 left to play in the second quarter. Mars Hill already in the bonus. It was an offensive foul. They won't shoot on this one. And then a blocking foul is going to be called on Yeliz Makubidon. And Kubidon will send Mars Hill to the free throw line. The foul on Kubidon, her second. So Mariah Johnson will be to the free throw line to shoot a pair with her team leading by one. Johnson, free throw is good. Kudos to Pioneer men's head coach JT Burton. He is behind the glass with his entire team, and Burton is cheering on this Pioneer women's squad with his entire men's team. Don't think I've ever seen that before. Instead of being in the locker room, up in his office, JT Burton is in the stands with his team cheering on this Pioneer women's squad. Can the men's coach get a technical in the women's game? Probably not. Rodriguez, Mia Long, into the corner. Arnwine will fire for three. Off the mark. Lovely Locklear comes down with the rebound. Almost had it stolen from her possession, but she saves it to the top in Rodriguez. Locklear back to the top in Long. Long drives, pull up, shot off the glass, no. Rebound pulled down by Mars Hill. Lions with the basketball, leading by 3 with 5:15 left to play in what has been a very sloppy second quarter. Mars Hill with Bradford. Underneath, Lovin. Out of bounds. Back over to the Pioneers. (24-21), Mars Hill with the lead. 5 minutes left to play second quarter. Long, right wing to Rodriguez. Lovely Locklear swings it left side Arnwine. Pioneers passing it around the perimeter. Now Arnwine will drive. Floater in the lane is good. Jayla Arnwine with the floater pulls the Pioneers within one with 4:45 to play in the quarter. Tatum Boggs will fire a long-range three-pointer. In and out, no. Rebound pulled down by the Pioneers. And a foul on the Pioneers on Maddie Sutton on the rebound. Nowhere near the basketball. And Mars Hill will shoot free throws. Media timeout. Mars Hill shoots free throws when we come back. 4:38 left to play in the second quarter. It's Tusculum 24. Check that. Mars Hill 24, Tusculum 23. This is Pioneer Women's Basketball on the Pioneer Sports Network.
Jason was an ordinary man with an insatiable appetite until he got a call that changed everything.
Applebee's All You Can Eat is back with shrimp.
This January, get ready to order. Starring riblets, tenders, and introducing shrimp.
Hill will shoot 2 free throws with Lovin as the foul was whistled on Maddie Sutton going, well, I can't say she was going for the rebound because the rebound was on the other side of the floor. The foul on Sutton was her second. The foul count right now is 13-7 as the Pioneers have been whistled for 13 fouls, Mars Hill 7. Second free throw was good, 26-23, Mars Hill with the lead. 4:35 left to play second quarter. Pioneers with Kuidon with 5 points leading the way. Locklear with the basketball at the top, threw it away. Tipped and stolen away by Olympus at the other end, lays it up, no. Rebound, scramble 4, and a traveling violation is going to be called on Mars Hill on the rebound, giving the basketball back over to the Pioneers. Fortunate break for the Pioneers because they just threw that one away, but Mars Hill could not convert at the other end. Pioneers down by 3 as they bring it into the front court. Mia Long dribbles it on the right wing. Maddie Sutton goes to the opposite block, and Lovely Locklear comes over and sets a screen. Arnwine back to Long. Sutton flashes through the lane. Back to the top and Long. Entry pass Sutton. Turn, shoot, shot, no. But a foul. And Maddie Sutton will be to the free throw line to shoot a pair. The foul called on Lovin. That'll be her first. It's the team's fourth. And Sutton will be to the free throw line to shoot a pair. 3:57 to play, second quarter. 26-23 the score. Maddie Sutton first free throw is short, no good. Maddie Sutton back to the line to shoot her second. Free throw is good. Sutton makes good on 1 of 2. Pioneers trail by 2. Mars Hill still in backcourt with Valinkis. Brings it across the timeline. Backdoor cut to Johnson, stolen away by Maddie Sutton. Led Johnson too much, and Sutton was there to intercept it. Long drives the lane, lost the handle, but gets into the hands of Arnwine. Outside Sutton into the corner. Marta Rodriguez for 3. Short, no. Rebound Locklear, and the Pioneers reset. Fresh 30-second clock with 3:30 to play in the quarter. Arnwine, Rodriguez, Long drives the lane all the way to the hoop. Puts it up, rolls in, good. Pioneers tie the game at 26. Long pass down at the other end. Lovin lays it up and in. Pioneers got beat back defensively. Lovely, the beneficiary of an easy layup. Sutton, wide open 3 on its way from the top, is an air ball out of bounds. 3:02 left to play second quarter. 28-26. Mars Hill reclaims the lead after the Pioneers temporarily tie the game at 26. Mars Hill brings it into the front court with Valinkis, escorted by Lovely Locklear into the corner in Loveland. Lovin's pass tipped away by Jayla Arnwine and taken away by Mia Long. Outlet feed Rodriguez. She'll drive the lane. Kick out Locklear, and an offensive foul is going to be called on Marta Rodriguez. So an offensive player control foul called on Marta Rodriguez. That'll be her first. Mars Hill already in the bonus, but it was an offensive foul, so they'll inbound in backcourt. Inbounds goes to Bradford, guarded by Mia Long. Marta Rodriguez picks her up on a switch, now a double-team trap. Bradford had her pass tipped and taken away by Jayla Arnwine. Pioneers with the steal. Arnwine all the way to the hoop, puts it up off the glass and in. Pioneers tie the game at 28. 2:20 left to play second quarter. Johnson, crossover dribble pass, Lovely Locklear and into the front court. Pioneer men's team with head coach J.T. Burton on their feet. Mia Long tips and takes it away. Nobody anywhere near Mia Long. She'll take it all the way and lay it up and in. And the Pioneers, after all that has happened in this first half, have their first lead of this game. Timeout, Mars Hill. We take a break. 1:55 left to play second quarter with a new score. Tusculum 30, Mars Hill 28. This is Pioneer Women's Basketball on the Pioneer Sports Network.
Pioneer Basketball on the Pioneer Sports Network. Once again,
foul called on the inbounds on the Pioneers. So Mars Hill will walk to the other end and shoot 2 free throws with Johnson. As the foul called on Jayla Arnwine, that is her 3rd. She is the first Pioneer to reach 3 fouls, but Locklear, Kubidon, Patterson, Duke, and Sutton all with 2 fouls. As the Pioneers see their 1-point lead evaporate, it is now tied at 30. As the Pioneers have now been whistled for 15 fouls in the half. Mia Long, Arnwine on the right wing. Gets a screen from Maddie Sutton. Kicks it left wing to Mia Long. Back to the top, and Kubidon. Kubidon splits a double team. Lost the handle, and it's picked up and taken away by Mariah Johnson. Johnson into the front court. Kubidon tried to go for the steal from behind, but Johnson saw her coming. Left wing, Valinkas. Lob pass inside. Tipped around, and picked up by Mia Long. Long looks to sprint. Long with numbers, brings it into the front court, goes to Locklear to the deep left corner. Kick out, Rodriguez into the corner, and Mia Long. Long to Sutton on the right wing, back to the top, and Marta Rodriguez. Lovely Locklear, wide open 3 on its way, is short, no good. Rebound by the shortest player on the floor, Mia Long. Maddie Sutton, wide open 3-pointer on its way, no. Mia Long had it tipped away from behind and out of bounds, and the Pioneers will inbound on the baseline with 23 seconds on the shot clock. 53.2 left to play in the second quarter. Mia Long into Maddie Sutton. Tipped away from behind and out of bounds, and the Pioneers will do it all over again. 1 second came off the clock. Tied at 30. The Pioneers have trailed much of this first half. They took a 2-point lead just moments ago. Inbound pass. Yeliz Kubidon muscles her way up and puts it up good. Kubidon gives the Pioneers the lead once again. In backcourt, Tatum Boggs, chased by Mia Long. Races past Mia Long and brings it into the front court, all the way through the lane to the hole, lost the handle, saved by Kubidon, into the hands of lovely Locklear. 2-on-1 for the Pioneers. Locklear, Rodriguez, shot, no. Got her own rebound, kick out Mia Long, shot clock turned off. Pioneers can hold for the last shot if they so choose, and that is exactly what head coach Devin Carter yells out. Pioneers with a 2-point lead. They have trailed by as many as 6. They have trailed much of this first half, but they can take the last shot of the first half. Not anymore. The Pioneers throw it out of bounds. Turnover on the Pioneers with 4.5 seconds left to play. Mars Hill to get it in backcourt. And a foul going to be called on the Pioneers. A hold on Yelizma Kubidon. And Kubidon is whistled for her 3rd, and we will walk to the other end and shoot 2 free throws. As Alexis Pardue will shoot 2 free throws. As the Pioneers whistled for their 16th foul of the first half. Mars Hill now whistled for 8. The first free throw is no good. Belton checks in. Belton checks in. As Kubidon checks out with 3 personals. The officials get together. And there's 4.2 seconds left on the clock. Free throw from Pardue is good. Into the game, Bradford. 32-31. Pioneers with a 1-point lead. Mia Long gets the inbound and races into the front court. Long to Sutton at the buzzer. No good. And the first half comes to an end. The Pioneers struggled in this first half, but they'll head to the halftime locker room with a 1-point lead. Your score at halftime: Tusculum 32, Mars Hill 31. This is Pioneer Women's Basketball on the Pioneer Sports Network.
Family.
Food's here!
What's it mean to you?
We got lunch.
To us, it means the people you care about, look out for, and yeah, love. Even if you'd never let them hear you say it.
Hey, you're eating hummus?
What's wrong with hummus?
Here at Ingalls, we have everything you need to gather around the table and give each other a hard time. Because that's what families do. Ingalls. All the ingredients for family.
Jason was an ordinary man with an insatiable appetite until he got a call that changed everything.
Applebee's All You Can Eat is back with shrimp.
This January, get ready to order. Starring riblets, tenders, and introducing shrimp.
We are in Granger County, Tennessee, here at Pierce Farms, and the Pierce family has been working with Ingalls for over 30 years. It means a great deal supplying produce As a local farmer, it really touches base knowing that we're just simple people just trying to help, and we love what we do, and Ingalls is a huge part of helping us do it. Farming is who we are, and it's in our blood. God has really blessed us with the sun and the soil to grow the best tomatoes you'll find anywhere. I believe it's really in the soil. So if you're in Granger County and you farm tomatoes, then you're in. Just a great blessing on us to actually farm and be able to farm and to supply tomatoes to people. And Ingalls really cares about family farms like Pierce Farms, and they really care about their customers. We're just glad to be a part of that. God has blessed us with a really great partnership there. They make fresh local produce have real meaning for lots of people. I'm Shane Pierce, and this is my Ingalls story.
Applebee's All You Can Eat is here. Now that's eating good in the neighborhood.
family.
Food's here!
What's it mean to you?
We got lunch.
To us, it means the people you care about, look out for, and yeah, love. Even if you'd never let them hear you say it.
Hey, you're eating hummus?
What's wrong with hummus?
Here at Ingalls, we have everything you need to gather around the table and give each other a hard time. Because that's what families do. Ingalls, all the ingredients for family.
Jason was an ordinary man with an insatiable appetite until he got a call that changed everything.
Applebee's all-you-can-eat is back with shrimp.
This January, get ready to order. Starring riblets, tenders, and introducing shrimp.
Network. Pioneer Basketball. Once again.
Tatum Boggs with the three to start the second half as Mars Hill gets the basketball to start the second half, and Tatum Boggs knocks down the three. 34-32, Mars Hill with the lead. So we start the second half like we started the first, with Mars Hill leading. Callie Patterson for three. Got it. Three-point basket, Callie Patterson. The Pioneers, after going 2 of 20 from three in the first half, knocked down their first three-point attempt of the second half. Tatum Boggs gets the inbound in backcourt, guarded by Jayla Arnwine, and will bring it across the timeline and set it up at the top. Pioneers reclaim the lead with the three-pointer, 35-34. Boggs, drive, shot, no. Rebound, Lovin, shot, blocked away by Condrea Duke and taken away by Mia Long. Long on the drive, all the way to the other end, leaves it for Patterson for another three, shot, no. Rebound, Arnwine in the corner. Trap comes, she gets rid of it to Yelise McCubidon, and the Pioneers with a fresh 30-second clock. Mia Long will drive the lane and lay it up and in. Mia Long with the driving bucket, and the Pioneers have their largest lead of this game. 3 points. 37-34, Pioneers with the lead. 8:38 left to play third quarter. Pioneers tip the pass in backcourt out of bounds. And then a foul's going to be called on Callie Patterson going for the home run pass, as Patterson trying to steal it away from Alexis Pardue. The foul going to be the third on Callie Patterson, the first on the Pioneers of the second half. 37-34, Pioneers with the lead. Mars Hill with the basketball. Tatum Box gets it to Lovin. Hands it off to Johnson on the left wing. She'll fire for a long-range three. That one's off the mark, and the rebound's pulled down by Jayla Arnwine of Tusculum. Pioneers look to run. Right wing, Patterson back to Arnwine. Mia Long at the top. Long drives lane. Off the glass. Shot no. Rebound pulled down by Tatum Boggs. Pioneers went for the steal with Patterson out of bounds. And Mars Hill will inbound in backcourt, side backcourt, with 8 seconds to get it into the front court. Valinkas brings it across the timeline, throws it right into the hands of Mia Long. Mia Long with the steal, and back the other way come the Pioneers. In the corner to Patterson, looking inside for Duke instead of the top, Kubidon. Arnwine will fire for three from the deep right corner. Shot no good. Rebound pulled down by Valinkas, stolen by Patterson, who reverse layup good. Callie Patterson with the steal and the layup, as Patterson with the circus shot in backcourt, and the Pioneers lead by 5. Largest lead of the game. 7:35 to play, third quarter. Underneath Valinkas. Nice extra pass and a blown layup underneath by Pardue. Valinkas set Pardue up wide open, and she could not convert, and the Pioneers come the other way. Mia Long through the lane. Shot no, but a foul. And Mia Long will be to the free throw line to shoot a pair. The foul called on Bailey Lovin. That'll be her second. It's the team's first. And it appears as though Devin Carter had a chat with himself in the locker room at halftime. And he said, Devin, listen, just don't say anything. They're going to officiate the way they're going to officiate. Just don't say anything. First free throw was no good. Mia Long will have a second with 7:22 to play in the third. Pioneers by 5. Long free throw is good. So Mia Long makes good on 1 of 2. And the Pioneers lead by 6. Johnson with the basketball in backcourt, trapped at the timeline, gets it across the timeline to Tatum Boggs. Boggs picked up by Callie Patterson, off balance three on its way, short no. Rebound pulled down by Mia Long of Tusculum. Pioneers look to push it. Leaves it for Callie Patterson, right wing three, in, out, no. Rebound, Yulise Makubidon, back outside to Mia Long, and the Pioneers reset. In the corner, Arnwine for three. Back iron, no. Rebound, Condrea Duke, back outside to Jayla Arnwine. Arnwine back to the top and Mia Long, and the Pioneers reset once again. Pioneers working much harder on the offensive glass to start this third quarter. Mia Long to Yulise Makubidon. Right wing feed. Into the corner, Patterson. Three-pointer on its way from Arnwine. Good. Jayla Arnwine knocks down the three, and the Pioneers lead by 9. Johnson quickly into the front court for the Mars Hill Lions. Gets it in the deep left corner to Bailey Lovin. Skip pass out of bounds off of the Pioneers, and Mars Hill will retain possession with 17 seconds on the shot clock, as Tatum Boggs will get it in right in front of the Mars Hill bench. Boggs gets it in underneath the Pardue. Turns on Kubidon, and a traveling violation is going to be called on Pardue. Lovely Locklear into the basketball game for Tusculum as Jayla Arnwine goes out. And a timeout called by Mars Hill. We take a break. 6:12 left to play third quarter. It's Tusculum 43, Mars Hill 34. This is Pioneer Women's Basketball on the Pioneer Sports Network.
Jason was an ordinary man with an insatiable appetite until he got a call that changed everything.
Applebee's All You Can Eat is back with shrimp.
This January, get ready to order. Starring riblets, tenders, and introducing shrimp.
6:12 to play. Third quarter, 43-34. It'll be Pioneer basketball coming out of the 30-second called timeout from interim head coach Aaron Fernandez for the Mars Hill Lions. Long to Kubidon, back to the top and Mia Long. Entry pass Duke, outside to a wide-open Callie Patterson for another three, and she's got another one. As bad as the Pioneers were from three in the first half, they've been that good in the second half. 46-34, turnover Mars Hill, still lovely Locklear. Locklear, nice pass underneath. Kubidon put it up, count it, and one. Beautiful pass from lovely Locklear to Yelizma Kubidon. The foul called on the Mars Hill Lions going against Tatum Boggs. That is her second, and Yelizma Kubidon will be to the free throw line trying to complete the three-point play, and the Pioneers have roared out to a 14-point third quarter lead, and Yelizma Kubidon at the line trying to push it one more. Kubidon in search of her 10th point of the game, and she has it. Kubidon converts the free throw. She's got 10, and the Pioneers lead by 15. Pioneers force another turnover as a traveling violation called on the Mars Hill Lions, and the Pioneers will get the basketball back with 5:33 to play third quarter. So the Pioneers playing an aggressive defensive style in the second half, just like they did in the first half. But instead of whistles and fouls, the Pioneers are getting turnovers. Entry pass for Duke, lost the handle, but tips it into the hands of Mia Long, so the Pioneers keep it. Long drives, lane to the hole, off the glass and in. Mia Long with the driving bucket, and the Pioneers lead by 17. Tatum Boggs just threw it away. Tatum Boggs throws it away, and the Pioneers force another turnover. Pioneers forced 18 turnovers in the first half, and they force yet another turnover here, and the Pioneers will have the basketball back, leading by 17. That's now 23 turnovers in the game against the Mars Hill Lions. Entry pass, Duke, shot, no. Got her own rebound, put it up, no, but a foul. And Condrea Duke will be to the free throw line to shoot a pair as the foul called on Mars Hill will send Duke to the free throw line. But first, the media timeout. We take a break. 5 minutes left to play in the third. It's Tusculum 51, Mars Hill 34. This is Pioneer Women's Basketball on the Pioneer Sports Network.
We are in Granger County, Tennessee, here at Pierce Farms, and the Pierce family has been working with Ingalls for over 30 years. It means a great deal supplying produce as a local farmer. It really touches base knowing that we're just simple people just trying to help, and we love what we do, and Ingalls is a huge part of helping us do it. Farming is who we are, and it's in our blood. God has really blessed us with the sun and the soil to grow the best tomatoes you'll find anywhere. I believe it's really in the soil. So if you're in Granger County, you farm tomatoes, then you're in. Just a great blessing on us to actually farm and be able to farm and to supply tomatoes to people. And Ingalls really cares about family farms like Pierce Farms, and they really care about their customers. We're just glad to be a part of that. God has blessed us with a really great partnership there. They make fresh local produce have real meaning for lots of people. I'm Shane Pierce, and this is my Ingalls story.
Duke will be at the line to shoot a pair coming out of the media timeout. Pioneers have pushed the second half lead to 17 points now, and Duke will be at the line where she's one for, check that, that's Maddie Sutton who's 1 for 4. Duke is 1 for 2 in this game, and make that 2 for 3 as she makes good on the first. Elsewhere in the South Atlantic Conference, a minute 52 left to play third quarter. It is 24th ranked Anderson leading Carson Newman 58-52. Anderson leading Carson Newman. A minute 13 to play third quarter. Newberry leading Queens 58-51. It's Catawba leading Coker 43-38. 4:29 left to play in the third there. And Wingate all over Lenore Rhine 40-27 with 3:41 to play in the third. Duke makes good on both free throws. Pioneers lead by 19, and the Pioneers trying to force a 10-second violation in backcourt. And just in the nick of time, Mars Hill gets it across the timeline as Maria Johnson receives the pass in the deep left corner. Right wing, Bradford dribbles in, kicks it out to Valinkas. Shot no good. Rebound pulled down by Callie Patterson. Pioneers with a 2-on-2 break. Patterson pull up, free throw line jumper is off the mark, and the Mars Hill Lions come down with it with Valinkas. 4:29 to play third quarter. Valinkas on the left wing, guarded by Mia Long. Dribbles to the top of the circle and hands it off to Mariah Johnson. Gets a screen, then picked up by Kubidon. Reverses field, puts it on the floor with the right hand, dribbles back to the top of the circle. Valinkas in the deep right corner, into Smith, couldn't handle it, and it's picked up and taken away by Lovely Locklear. Ahead to Kubidon, shot no, got her own rebound, goes back up with it, no, gets knocked to the floor. A lot of contact, no call, and Mars Hill comes away with the basketball. Valinkas, nice head fake, she'll drive, leaves it for Smith. Shot over Patterson is off the mark, and Callie Patterson comes away with the rebound for the Pioneers. Patterson ahead to Long. Long drives, bumped by Johnson, kick out Patterson for three, rolls off no. Rebound Locklear, goes back up with it, no, and then a whistle and a foul. And Lovely Locklear will be to the line to shoot a pair. The foul called on Mars Hill's Selby Ballman. That'll be her third, team fourth. And Lovely Locklear at the line shooting two. Free throw is good. Lovely Locklear now with 3 points as Marta Rodriguez and Jayla Arnwine checks into the basketball game for the Pioneers. And Lovely Locklear will be back at the line to shoot her second, trying to give her team a 21-point lead. Pioneers have led all of the second half. They trailed almost all of the first half. Maddie Sutton back into the basketball game for Tusculum as Condrea Duke gets a breather. Sutton, who had 7 first half points for the Pioneers. Kubidon gets her hands on the basketball in backcourt and then commits the foul at the timeline. The foul on Yelizma Kubidon will be her fourth. And that'll get Maya Belton up off the bench and into the game for the next dead ball. Second team foul called on Tusculum of the third quarter. 15 seconds on the shot clock as Bradford has it at the top of the circle for Mars Hill. Now dribbles on the left wing. Kubidon comes out to defend. Pass to the top and Mariah Johnson. Johnson with 7 seconds, spins in the lane, got away with a travel, kick out Boggs for three, shot no. Rebound Mariah Johnson, fresh 30-second clock for Mars Hill. Johnson drives, shot off the glass is good. Some stick-to-itiveness from Mariah Johnson. That trip down the floor makes it 55-36 and a timeout called by head coach Devin Carter. We take it with him. 2:47 left to play third quarter. It's Tusculum 55, Mars Hill 36. This is Pioneer Women's Basketball on the Pioneer Sports Network. To get it in for the Pioneers coming out of the timeout. Belton into Marta Rodriguez. The Pioneers will set up in the half court with 20 seconds on the shot clock. Sutton sets the screen for Rodriguez. Right wing to Lovely Locklear. Locklear thought about the three, now dribbles in. Marta Rodriguez, left wing, 10 seconds on the shot clock. Rodriguez to Belton. Belton may have drugged that pivot foot. Only I saw it, though. 3 seconds on the shot clock. Maddie Sutton will force one, and a shot clock violation will be whistled against the Pioneers. Not exactly what you want to see coming out of a timeout. A turnover on a shot clock violation as the Pioneers will guard Mars Hill as the Pioneers lead by 19, 55-36. as Tatum Boggs somehow keeps her dribble in backcourt, now brings it into the front court. Gets it to Mariah Johnson on the left wing. Johnson dribbles to the free throw line, now dribbles back out to the top, now fires for three, rolls off, no. Rebound, Lovely Locklear of the Pioneers. Quickly back the other way comes Tusculum. Jayla Arnwine to the deep right corner for three, shot no. Rebound Belton, outside Marta Rodriguez, and the Pioneers will reset. Locklear holds it on the left wing, back to the top in Rodriguez. She'll direct traffic from there. Gets a screen from Sutton. Left wing, Lovely Locklear. Sutton trying to post up on the low block, but it'll be Lovely Locklear firing for three and knocking down a three. 58-36 off of the Jayla Arnwine three. And a blocking foul going to be called on Marta Rodriguez right in front of the Mars Hill bench. And Mars Hill will inbound side front court as the foul on Marta Rodriguez, her second personal. Tatum Boggs to get it in for the Lions. Gets it in on the right wing to Alexis Pardue. Maddie Sutton comes out to defend. Picks up her dribble. Now Boggs will fire for three. Shot short, no. Rebound, Jayla Arnwine. Arnwine pulls down the rebound. The Pioneers look to push it. Locklear in the deep right corner. Back to Arnwine. Rodriguez wide open at the top of the circle. Rolls off, no. And the rebound is out of bounds off of Tusculum and back over to Mars Hill. So the Pioneers, 4 of 10 from three in the second half after going 2 of 20 in the first half. They're now shooting 35.6% from the floor in the game, 21 of 59. They lead by 22. And another player picks up her fourth foul. That is Jayla Arnwine, and that'll get Callie Patterson up off the bench and into the game for the Pioneers. 57.9 to play in the third. Now Kubidon with 4 and Arnwine with 4. Mars Hill basketball inside a minute to play third quarter. Pioneers lead by 22. Dribbling at the top is Bradford. Ducks behind a screen. Now Boggs from way outside. In, out, no. Rebound underneath by Ballman, and she stepped on the baseline. Did she step on the baseline, or did she call 3 seconds? Hard to tell. Either way, it's a turnover, and either way, it's Pioneers basketball. Stepped on the baseline. Thank you, Jim Miller, with the assist from Dom Donnelly. Belton for three. Shot no. Rebound pulled down by Mars Hill and Alexis Pardue. 25 seconds to play in the quarter. Three-pointer on its way from Bradford is off the mark. Rebound Maya Belton. And Belton threw it right into the hands of Alinkus. She'll put it up and in. 10 seconds to play in the third quarter. Pioneers lead by 20. Rodriguez with 8. Sutton with 6. Lovely Locklear with 3 seconds will fire for three. Shot no. Rebound is out of bounds. And it'll be Mars Hill basketball with 0.7 on the clock. Mars Hill to get it in with Tatum Boggs. Home run pass goes out of bounds, so now the Pioneers will inbound on the baseline. Pioneers will inbound on the baseline with 0.7 because the home run pass did not touch anybody, did not even touch the floor. It sailed into the press table. And now Patterson will get it in for the Pioneers. Touch pass, Duke, shot no, and no whistle. And the third quarter comes to an end. We played three with your score. Tusculum 58, Mars Hill 38. This is Pioneer Women's Basketball on the Pioneer Sports Network.
Family.
Food's here!
What's it mean to you?
We got lunch.
To us, it means the people you care about, look out for, and yeah, love. Even if you'd never let them hear you say it.
Hey, you're eating hummus?
What's wrong with hummus?
Here at Ingalls, we have everything you need to gather around the table and give each other a hard time. Because that's what families do. Ingalls. All the ingredients for family.
Jason was an ordinary man with an insatiable appetite until he got a call that changed everything.
Applebee's all-you-can-eat is back with shrimp.
This January, get ready to order. Starring riblets, tenders, and introducing shrimp.
It'll be Pioneer basketball to start this fourth quarter with a 20-point Tusculum lead. As the officials are going to have to get together because Bailey Lovin can't sit down, but the officials don't want her walking around behind the bench, evidently. So I'm not sure what you do in this situation, but the officials looked over at the bench and said Bailey Lovin's going to have a seat. So now we're having the discussion as to whether or not Bailey Lovin can sit down. She does not have to sit down, but she's going to have to go to the corner with the athletic trainers, and she can't pace around behind the bench. Interesting. 9:55 left to play in the game. Pioneers with the basketball. Entry pass to Condrea Duke. Takes on the defender. Shot rolls off. No. But a foul. And Duke will be to the free throw line to shoot a pair. The foul going to go against Alexis Pardue. The foul on Pardue, her first. It's the first team foul on Mars Hill, and Condrea Duke makes good on the first free throw. Duke, free throw is good. No good, sorry, rolls off. Maddie Sutton with the rebound. Patterson in the corner to Lovely Locklear. Three-pointer rolls off, no. Rebound, Sutton, but a whistle and a foul going to be called on Maddie Sutton. Maddie evidently just a bit too aggressive going for the rebound. That is her third personal, first team foul called on the Pioneers. Mariah Johnson brings it across the timeline. Right wing to Valinkas. Patterson comes out to defend. Valinkas hands it off to Smith. Entry pass down low. Pardue shot no. Rebound Maddie Sutton. Sutton ahead to Marta Rodriguez. Pioneers in transition. Now Rodriguez will circle back and the Pioneers will set up in the half court. In the corner, Patterson for three. In, out, no. Rebound pulled down by Tatum Boggs. Back to Mariah Johnson. Picked up by Lovely Locklear as she crosses the timeline. Now to Alexis Pardue. Hands it off, lost it. Sutton dives on the floor and comes up with it for the Pioneers. Outlet feed, Lovely Locklear. Johnson giving chase. Locklear missed the shot. Rebound, Patterson put it up and in. 61-38 the score on the Patterson rebound putback. And the Pioneers with a 23-point lead with 8:29 to play in the fourth. Pioneer men play next as the voice of the Pioneers, Brian Staten, will bring you the play-by-play action of Tusculum versus Mars Hill. Johnson, drive, shot, no, foul, called on Mars Hill. As Johnson runs over Callie Patterson. And Johnson whistled for the charging foul, picks up her second. First action for Brittany Cupp as the 6'3 freshman from La Follette, Tennessee, checks into the basketball game for the very first time as Maddie Sutton will come out. Brittany Cupp stands at 6'3", just declared eligible just before this basketball game started. I think the ink was still wet on the paperwork when this game tipped off. Cup checks in. Pioneers with the basketball with a 23-point lead. Rodriguez, inside Cup, takes on a defender, up and under, shot no, rebound tipped, and Mars Hill comes away with it with Alexis Pardue. Back the other way comes Tatum Boggs with 7:55 to play in the game. Alexis Pardue with the basketball at the top. His Cup comes out to defend. Left wing feed goes to Valinkas. Valinkas picked up by Cup on a switch. Right wing, Tatum Boggs for three. Got it. 3-point basket from Tatum Boggs. And the lead is back to 20 for the Pioneers as Rodriguez brings it into the front court. Rodriguez gets a screen from Cup. Left wing feed goes to Callie Patterson. Patterson to the top and Cup. Looking inside for Duke. Duke wanted it bad, didn't go there. Now Lovely Locklear right wing. Duke, left wing, Rodriguez for three. Rolls off, no. Rebound, pulled down by the Mars Hill Lions, Shayla Smith. Crossover dribble from Bradford into the front court on Marta Rodriguez. Tatum Boggs will fire another three. This one is blocked by Lovely Locklear and pulled out of the air by Marta Rodriguez. Rodriguez through the lane. Kick out. Lovely Locklear for three. Shot no. Rebound. Tipped around and out of bounds off of Mars Hill. And the Pioneers will retain possession with a fresh 30-second clock. Into the game comes Shelby Ballman for Mars Hill, as out goes Alexis Pardue, as Lovely Locklear inbounds to Marta Rodriguez with 6:45 to play. Rodriguez dribbles between the legs on the right wing. Andrea Duke comes out to set a screen. Left wing, Callie Patterson into the corner. Lovely Locklear will fire for three. That one rolls off the glass, good. It kicked off the front of the rim, hit high off the glass, and fell back through the cylinder for a three-pointer from Lovely Locklear. 64-61 the score. Bradford on the right wing to Valinkas. She'll drive baseline. Floater is good. And a timeout call by Mars Hill. It's a full timeout, so we take a break. 6:14 to play in the game. It's Tusculum 64, Mars Hill 43. This is Pioneer Women's Basketball on the Pioneer Sports Network. (64-43) Pioneers with a 21-point lead. Fans, don't forget, the Pioneers took their first lead of this game with about 3 minutes left to go before halftime. They lost that lead. They got it back again and then led by one at halftime. But Mars Hill led the vast majority of the first half. But the Pioneers came out in the second half holding a 1-point lead, and they've done nothing but build on that 1-point lead in this second half. 6 minutes to play in the game. Long and Kumidon check back in during the timeout. It's Patterson who'll fire for three. Short, got her own rebound, put it back up, back iron no. And the rebound pulled down by the Mars Hill Lions with Bailey Lovin. Lovin, who evidently can't sit down when she's not in the game, is back in the game. She also can't sit down when she's in the game because that wouldn't help her team. She does, however, step out of bounds, and the Pioneers will get the basketball back. Mia Long gets a screen at the top from Cup. Right wing Locklear to Kubidon. Back to Locklear. Patterson in the corner. Free throw line. Cup drives. Floater. Rolls. No. Got her own rebound. Goes back up with it and puts it up and in. Brittany Cup with her first points in a Pioneer uniform. As she got back-to-back rebounds. And the 6'3 newcomer gets her first 2 points as a Pioneer. Pioneers with a double-team trap in backcourt. Timeout, Mars Hill. There is 20 seconds on the shot clock, so 10 seconds evidently expired. Did Mars Hill get the timeout? Did Mars Hill get the timeout before 10 seconds came off the clock? The officials calling it a full timeout, but they just used a full timeout, and you only get one. So this cannot be a full timeout by my recollection, which is not very good. .508 left to play in the game. The Pioneers lead 66-43. Mars Hill is still in backcourt, and they should have just 1 second to get it into the front court. They do put 1 second on the shot clock to signify that there was only 9 seconds that came off the clock. So Mars Hill cannot throw the ball in backcourt because it would be a 10-second violation. So the Pioneers, all they have to do, and that should be a 10-second violation. And to head coach Aaron Fernandez's credit, the last thing he told his team is you cannot pass the ball in backcourt because it'll be a 10-second violation. Coach Fernandez said it, but his team didn't listen. They threw it right into the backcourt nonchalantly. 1 second came off the clock, and that's a 10-second violation. And the Pioneers get the basketball. Mia Long. Kubidon will fire for three. Nowhere near. Rebound tipped, and a foul going to be called on Mia Long. Maddie Sutton back into the basketball game. Maddie Sutton checks in. Brittany Cup comes out. Jayla Arnwine into the game. Lovely Locklear comes out. And the Pioneers lead by 23 as the foul on Mia Long was her second. And the Pioneers almost get the steal at the timeline. Tatum Boggs gets the pass and brings it across the timeline. Left wing, Bradford kicks it to the top, tipped by Kubidon, but Bradford gets it back. And dribbles on the left wing. Pass to the top, Tatum Boggs, she'll fire for another three. That one's off the mark. And the rebound's pulled down by Jayla Arnwine. Pioneers come back the other way. Patterson to the top and Kubidon. Left wing, Mia Long. She'll fire for three. Three-point basket, Mia Long. 69-43 now the score, and the Pioneers diving for the loose ball at the timeline. Can't come up with it. Valinkas near the deep right corner. This is Bowman. She'll drive baseline, and it's lost out of bounds by Lovin. Lovely Locklear checks in for Jayla Arnwine. 69-43 with 4:04 to play in the game. 4 minutes exactly left to play as the Pioneers bring near to the front court with Mia Long. Kubidon, left wing to Lovely Locklear. Patterson will fire for three from the corner. Three-point basket, Callie Patterson. And Callie Patterson now has 13 points for the Pioneers. Mia Long leads the way with 15 points. And the Pioneers lead 72-43. 3:30 left to play in the game. Jumper from the baseline is off the mark. Rebound, tipped around. Lovin had it. Scramble for it on the floor. Valinkas gets it, and then Maddie Sutton brings it away. So the Pioneers come up with a loose ball. Long. Into the corner, Lovely Locklear will fire for three. That one is off the mark. Rebound out of bounds off of Tusculum. And back over to the Mars Hill Lions. Shayla Smith checks back into the game for Mars Hill. Brittany Cup. Brittany Cup checks back into the game for Tusculum. 3:12 to play in the game. Pioneers lead by 29. Tatum Boggs in the backcourt, brings it into the front court, kicks it left wing to Bradford, left open for a three. Shot no. Rebound Maddie Sutton. Same team, girls, as Maddie Sutton and Brittany Cup skied for the basketball. Mia Long drives, shot off the glass, rolls off no. Rebound, tipped around, and picked up by Tatum Boggs of Mars Hill. 2:44 to play in the game as the Pioneers still holding on to a 29-point lead. Boggs drives, lost the handle on her way up, out of bounds, and back over to the Pioneers. Mia Long with 15, Callie Patterson with 13, Lovely Locklear and Yulise McCubidon with 10 points apiece, leading the way for the Pioneers. A Tusculum team that went 2 of 20 from three-point territory in the first half, now 9 of 43 from three. And they're now shooting 33.3% from the floor, which head coach Devin Carter will not be happy about. But he will be happy with a 29-point lead and this second-half performance. Substitutions into the game for the Pioneers. You now have Lovely Locklear, Brittany Cup, Jayla Arnwine, Maya Belton, and Marta Rodriguez on the floor for the girls in orange and black. Technically, they're wearing white at home, but you get the point. Jayla Arnwine near the deep right corner, Lovely Locklear. Now Belton at the top, swings it left side to Marta Rodriguez. Cup trying to post up inside, can't get herself free. Now Arnwine will drive with 9. Shot too strong off the glass, and Mars Hill comes down with the basketball. Tatum Boggs with the basketball for the Mars Hill Lions. Shayla Smith gets it at the free throw line, dribbles in, kick out to Tatum Boggs. Her three-pointer is an air ball, and Lovely Locklear comes up with it for Tusculum. Locklear through the lane, all the way to the hole, shot no, but a foul, and Lovely Locklear will be to the free throw line to shoot 2. As the foul whistled on Tatum Boggs, that will be her third, and Lovely Locklear will be to the free throw line for Tusculum. Pioneers in the game, 11 of 19 from the free throw line. Lovely Locklear, first free throw is up and in. Locklear now has 11 points, and she's a perfect 3 for 3 from the free throw line. Jewel Walston into the basketball game for Mars Hill, a 6'1 sophomore out of Newark, New Jersey. Locklear, free throw is good. Locklear has 12. Pioneers lead by 31. Pioneers only gave up 45 points against Lenore Ryan. They've only given up 43 in this one, and they force another turnover as they force a 5-second violation on Tatum Boggs and the Mars Hill Lions. So the Pioneers get the basketball back with 1:49 to play in the game. Jayla Arnwine to Marta Rodriguez, left wing. Rodriguez double dribbled. So the Pioneers turn the basketball back over to the Mars Hill Lions. And Lovely Locklear will guard the inbounds pass from Valinkas. Lob pass in backcourt goes to Bradford, picked up by Marta Rodriguez. Bradford tried to go with a double dribble. Illegal screen at the timeline, gets Mars Hill into the front court. Shot blocked out of bounds by Lovely Locklear as Valinkas set up for the three, and Locklear blocked it into the second row. She just came off injury. She doesn't need to be doing that. Maddie Sutton with the high-flying celebration with assistant coach Lady Comfort. And Maddie Sutton, who's just coming back from injury, can't have her injuring herself celebrating. Foul called on the Pioneers on Brittany Cup. That'll be her first. On the inbounds, reverse layup is no good. Cup got the rebound and gets into the hands of Jayla Arnwine. Arnwine with 1:20 left to play. Arnwine into the corner. Belton. The shot falls, but it's no good. The whistle and the foul was before the shot. The foul was on the floor, so Marta Rodriguez will inbound on the baseline for the Pioneers. The foul was on Boggs, her fourth. Lovely Locklear for three. It's no good. And the rebound's pulled down by Mars Hill's Selby Ballman. Malinkus picks up her dribble on the right wing. Needs help. Double team trap comes. And a reach in and a foul going to be called on Marta Rodriguez. She reached in trying to tie up the basketball and got whistled for it. That'll be her third. It's the team's fourth. So Mars Hill's Tatum Boggs will inbound side front court with Bradford. Half the players were lining up for free throws. Fortunately, Bradford was ready to receive the inbounds pass. The shot off the side of the backboard from Ballman. Lovely Locklear racing to the other end and lays it off the glass and in. Lovely Locklear just striding down the court, lays it up and in. And a whistle and foul in backcourt on the inbound is going to be on Maya Belton. And Bradford will walk to the other end and shoot two as Belton picks up her first. It's the fifth team foul. And with the Pioneers leading by 33 points, Mars Hill will shoot free throws. Bradford's first free throw is no good. Mars Hill had 31 points at halftime. They've scored 12 in the second half, while the Pioneers have scored 44, as the Pioneers have outscored Mars Hill 44-12 in the second half, and there's 40 seconds to play. Bradford was 1 of 2 from the free throw line. Belton will fire for three and knock it down. Three-point bucket from Maya Belton. Tatum Boggs across the timeline. Malinkus on the right wing. And now at the top, Bradford. 17 seconds to play, and a whistle and a foul going to be called on the Pioneers on the inside, as it's going to go on Brittany Cupp. That's her second. And Mars Hill at the bonus will shoot two with Jewel Walston. Walston free throw is up and in. 79-45 the score. 17 seconds to play in the game. Walston's second free throw is good. So Walston makes good on both. Pioneers can just dribble it out if they so choose. Marta Rodriguez will just dribble out the remaining 10 seconds of this basketball game. And that will be your final score. Tusculum trailed almost all of the first half. They led by 1 at halftime. They win going away. Your final score: Tusculum 79, Mars Hill 46. Your Pioneer postgame report starts after this as you listen on the Pioneer Sports Network.
Pioneer Sports Network, your home for Pioneer basketball.
Welcome back into the Pioneer Postgame Report. Tusculum victorious over the Mars Hill Lions by the final score of 79-46. I am Ty Waring, Justin Jeffers with Tylus, head coach Devin Carter. And, Coach, if you'd won a tie tonight, you would have ripped it off in the first half.
Absolutely. Just didn't think we came out great. Didn't think we started the game like we should. And I told our girls that Mars Hill was an improved team, and you can't take them for granted. They played Wingate to 6 points in the first half at their place, and if you sleep, if you walk out, you're not ready to compete, then they'll make you pay. And obviously, we came out in the first half. I felt like we were lackadaisical. I felt like we weren't very attentive to detail, and we paid for it in the first half.
What kept Tusculum in that first half, however, was forcing 18 first-half turnovers. We've talked about it before. One thing that does not go into a shooting slump is your defense.
Yeah.
You were whistled for a lot of fouls when you were trying to be aggressive, but you continued to be aggressive, and it forced those 18 turnovers, and that's what kept you in the first half. And despite how bad you played in the first half, 2 of 20 from 3, under 30% from the floor, you go to the halftime locker room with a 1-point lead.
Yeah, I mean, all year, every game we've played this year, the game hadn't been officiated like it was today, and we got to do a better job of adjusting. As players, when you're on the floor, you see how the game's being called, you got to adjust. And so, this was a first for us. Never had a game officiated like this, and so our kids got to do a better job of just adjusting to the whistle. I felt like, the turnover situation, that's going to keep you in ball games. The thing I was disappointed with in the first half is that we were getting turnovers, but we weren't converting off our turnovers. And so when you get that many turnovers, you got to be able to go ahead and finish at the rim and things like that. And so that's something definitely that we got to work on as we head into Saturday.
You move to the second half. You outscore Mars Hill in the second half, 47-15.
Yeah.
I think you were quicker to the ball.
Yeah.
You weren't standing and reaching, so the foul count was less, and then you started making shots from the outside.
Yeah, I told our kids, I didn't care how bad we were shooting the ball because I know that we've gotten the reps up to be a good shooting team. I told them that the second half, if you're passive, you're coming out. If you're not ready to shoot the basketball, you're coming out of the ball game. And they stepped in and knocked down some shots. I challenged our kids, at the half, that we got to put some stops together. And we came out in the second half and put some stops together. Like you said, we were quicker to the ball, had a lot more deflections in the second half, and our juice was back. And I told them it shouldn't have to take Coach almost losing his voice at halftime to get the juice back, but they did. And very impressive second half to limit them to 15 points. And
not only limiting them to 15 points, it's back-to-back games that you've held the opponent under 46 points. 46 points tonight, 45 points allowed against Lenore Ryan. That's just good defense.
Yeah, and I told our kids, we got to be better. With that 46 points tonight, they got 18 from the foul line. And I told our kids, that's not the officiating or anything else. That's us. That's our failure to adjust. You can't put somebody on the line 23 times, especially a team that knocks it down like Mars Hill from the line, and expect to win close ball games. And so, that's something that also we got to clean up. But really impressed with our effort to limit them to 13 field goals, in the game, and to hold them under 30% shooting from the field, 10% from the three-point line. I'll take it.
Coach, no rest for the weary. The Coker Cobras with an assistant coach that's one of our own coming in here.
Oh, yeah.
And we take on another Southland Conference team, but this makes 6 wins in a row.
Yeah.
We're running a hot streak.
Yeah, and, during the year you want to put games together. I told our girls is that, we've shown over the course of time that we play well at home. And so even when we hit some adversity today, felt like the crowd brought us through. Men's basketball was great for us, brought a lot of energy for us, and that's when the game really started to turn. So shout out to JT and those guys for that. And then, like you said, Michaela Hash coming up in here, one of our own. That's my girl. She's a great kid. And over at Coker, they got a young team. They're really athletic, really big. And if we play like we played tonight, we'll get beat. So got to clean that up.
2 things. I've never seen a men's head coach in the stands cheering with his team like J.T. Burton did.
Yeah.
Kudos to him for that.
Absolutely.
And especially in that first half when you might need a little extra pep.
We needed it.
Something tells me Michaela Hash gets the scout for this game.
Yeah, she does. I mean, you know, I tell people this all the time, is that she's been at a lot of our practices over the past few years, and she's been at a lot of our practices last year. So we may have to change up our play calls and everything else because she knows it all. And so, you know, like you said, though, shout out to JT for that. I really appreciated that, and you know, that's the way it should be. Men's, women's basketball sticking together, and we're going to return the favor here in a few minutes, and then we'll welcome Coker in here on Saturday.
It's a good thing he didn't go shirtless or paint his chest or anything like
no
that.
Bruce Pearl.
Because you do have to repay the favor.
Exactly, right? No Bruce Pearl.
Head coach Devin Carter, his team gets the victory by the final score, Tusculum 79, Mars Hill 46. Back with more of the Pioneer postgame after this as you listen to Pioneer basketball on the Pioneer Sports Network.